Hello, thank you for joining us. This is Linda with the SBDC, and I am hosting this webinar today for Lani. Today it's Digital Marketing Power Hour, but this is actually the Power Hour and a half because we're going to be with you for 90 minutes. Lani's talking about LinkedIn 101 today.
Oh, let me get there. We go, Linda.
This is the Shasta-Cascade Small Business Development Center. We're a nonprofit organization and we provide confidential, no-cost advisory and training services to small businesses. We're sponsored by the U.S. Small Business Administration and the HSU Sponsored Programs Foundation. And there's no cost expert advice here. So we are so glad you're here. Lani, I think we have you up here with your dog, and there I am in the middle and the top. Actually, what's funny is I'm wearing the same thing that's in that picture.
You are. You must have planned that. That's so funny.
And all these advisors are here to serve you and to serve your business. So if you are in either Shasta or Shasta or Trinity County, and you have a small business, we are here to support you. Your tax dollars are paying for this service, so it's no charge to you. And you can meet with an advisor and get support to move your company forward. We cover a lot of different subjects. We even have some experts that are not in our area that cover specific subjects. So please do reach out to us on this. Lani will talk a little bit more about advising at the end of her session. We have over 40 additional subject matters that we can cover with you to support you and your business. Our disclaimer, the information provided in this webinar and any supplementary materials provided to registrants are intended for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute professional, financial, or legal advice. No registrant should act or fail to act on the basis of any material contained in this webinar without obtaining proper financial, legal, and other professional advice specific to their situation. The Northern California Small Business Development Center and its host, the HSU Sponsored Programs Foundation, specifically disclaims any liability, loss, or risk, personal or otherwise, which is incurred as a consequence, directly or indirectly, of the use and application of any of the information presented in this webinar. And now I would like to introduce you to Lani Lott, who's going to present for you today.
Thank you, Linda, and welcome everybody. I'm going to keep my video on for just a minute. Yes, that's me with my sidekick, Charlie. He has been with me throughout the pandemic. And I'd just like to introduce him because sometimes he might say hello when the postman comes and you'll hear him bark a couple times. But anyways, I am the president of LL Consulting. I have been providing services for various small business development centers across Northern California. And right now, my passion is looking at helping businesses with their digital marketing, social media, branding, market research, business feasibility. And I am on contract with the Shasta-Cascade Small Business Development Center as one of their business advisors. So thank you for that. And so today's agenda, we are going to be diving into LinkedIn 101. Yes, I'm going to be kind of providing the PowerPoint slides for your reference, just kind of giving you an idea of what we're going to be covering. But then I'm going to go live with the back end of my LinkedIn personal profile as well as my business profile, and kind of help just navigate around some of the areas that you may be familiar with, you may not be familiar with, some of the areas that need to be built out, because you really want to have a robust profile, personal profile on LinkedIn. And then as you look at using LinkedIn for your business, then you would want to build that out, because there are some differences between the two, what each one does. I'm going to go into that, the benefits, optimizing your profile, the features of the company page, and then how do we utilize the feed and groups to help build your network and kind of expand your followers. So we will have time for questions. I think that because this is pretty robust and we do have an hour and a half, we'll probably have plenty of time at the end for some questions. Linda will be kind of monitoring the chat. And if she sees a question she can answer herself, she will do that in the chat. So if you have a question, respond to everyone. That is on the bottom under there. If you don't see chat right up on your bar, those three little dots. And then if there's a question that pops up and it's relative to what I'm talking about in that moment, she has permission to interrupt me so I can answer that question. Now it is 101. I'm not going to dive deep into the advertising feature, the paid feature of LinkedIn in terms of your work board, if you want to use it for job hunting. So it is going to be a little bit more 101. So I do a 201, which we might be doing later this year. Okay, so let's just jump in with my first slide. So benefits of LinkedIn. If you're using LinkedIn, especially during this pandemic, you know what the benefits are. It is the largest business-oriented networking website, our platform. It is specifically targeted for business to business. It is professional social media, or whatever you want to call it, but that is what it is all about. It is geared towards those professionals. It has over 500 million members in 200 countries. LinkedIn does have a very robust job board. So if you are looking for, seeking for a new position out there, or you're looking at needing to really beef up or expand your employee base, looking for folks to bring in, so you can either be from the job seeking side of it, or the job or the business recruitment side, for looking for talent acquisition, I guess you could call it. So it does do both sides of that. You can build your professional brand, meaning your personal profile, your professional. For myself, I am a consultant. So that means people hire me for my expertise and sharing of advising. In addition to advising for the Small Business Development Center, doing business advising, I also do downtown revitalization and historic preservation economic development consulting. So some of my clients might be municipalities, or state agencies actually hire me, and even nonprofits. So I have this kind of profile and have to build out my personal profile, showing that I have that expertise in the areas that I specialize in. And then my company, LL Consulting, that has a different brand, and that is a different way of promoting my company. So LinkedIn provides both sides of that equation. You as a professional, whether that is you as an entrepreneur or a manager or a consultant, whatever that area is, even an employee of a firm, because there is, I'm going to show you, there is a way for really linking your, you as an employee of a company, really supporting and building up the company that you work for. So it kind of works on both sides. It can help rank your name on Google. So if you've ever Googled your name, you want to see where it comes up in the Google search. And most often, if you have a really kind of used LinkedIn, you have a robust profile, you're sharing, you're maybe posting some content, your network is growing, you belong to a few groups, your name is probably going to come to the top of the list and show in the LinkedIn Google. So kind of check that out when we're done. Google your name and see where you are in the Google search with LinkedIn. It assists with maintaining your contacts. And that was the one thing that I really noticed, because prior to the pandemic, my business, like right up to March 17th, 2020, I was, this going gangbusters, and I probably had, I don't want to say this, more work than I needed, but I wasn't really, using my LinkedIn as much for the prior 2 years because I was so busy. And so I hadn't really gone in there and updated it. But when I did, what I remember about LinkedIn, and what I want to tell you now, is like a Rolodex for your contacts, especially with all of the job changing and people maybe moving out of different states. We saw a lot of shifting in 2008 with the recession. People were, taking early retirements. Right now that's happening again. So if you had a relationship with someone in your industry, or someone, that you might want to reconnect with and ask for a recommendation, or just kind of reconnect with them to find out what they're doing, LinkedIn is a great place because you can search them, and they probably have a LinkedIn, and hopefully they've updated it. And that way, then you can send out, if you're not already connected with them, you can send out and ask them to connect, or you can just send them a private message and reconnect with them. So it really is a kind of a great depository of folks that you've known through all of your years in business or in a professional position somewhere along the line. Plus, it is one of the places to really have your resume in a place where folks can easily find it and see it and understand the depth of your experience. Whether your professional profile as the owner of your business, I always recommend to my clients, you want to add that you are the owner, and I'll show you this in my own resume, that you are the owner of this business. You really want to build that up because that is where you're at now. Or you're maybe still working part-time for or full-time even for an organization, and then you're building your part-time job on the side or your part-time business on the side, and you can add that to your resume. And then, of course, networking, outreach, and communication. And I know that LinkedIn became a valuable tool during the pandemic because there were not in-person networking opportunities that we were used to going to, whether that was a conference, whether that was a chamber mixer or a chamber networking opportunity, or in your association that you belong to. So suddenly, in addition to the million of Zoom meetings that we do, LinkedIn became that valuable tool that a lot of folks were reconnecting, talking, networking, asking what's going on, kind of just staying in current in the marketplace. So when I'm going to talk about optimizing your personal profile, I'm going to go through your personal profile, your picture, your headliner, visual media, engaging summary. I'm going to show you all of those areas, how you can start to dive deeper into that, customizing your URL, highlighting your experience, asking for recommendations and endorsements, and then starting to make connections. Now, this profile here on your right side is my 25-year-old daughter. So I thought, because I always show my own, and I'm like, well, you don't need to just see me all the time because I'm going to show you my back end of my profile. So I thought, well, for this slide, I'd just show you what her profile looks like. And she's had her LinkedIn since she was in high school, actually. And now it just shows you, there's her profile. Then she has a picture on her headliner on the back of Phoenix. She works for Elevate Tickets, and she graduated from Arizona State University. And then this was interesting. She's attended this online meeting, which was like a conference. But so this is just kind of the visual picture of what your profile is going to look like. Then we're going to touch on our business profile, how to update your profile image and banner, writing a compelling about us, filling out all the key fields, hashtags that you can have up to 3 hashtags, branded hashtags that are on your business profile, and then, customizing your call to action. So right from here, I think this is where I want to kind of switch over. Yeah, I'm going to switch over. I'm going to come out of my PowerPoint. So you guys get to see a little bit of my messy stage, my messy computer. Maybe you only see the flower. And I am going to go ahead then and come up onto my profile. I'm going to move my bar down so I can see you guys. And there is the back end of my personal profile. Okay, so the personal profile, you always know you're on your personal profile because your icon should be your picture. For LinkedIn, for your personal profile, it's about you the person, you the owner of the business, you the professional entrepreneur, you the employee, whatever that is, you the person. So you're always going to want to have, your probably nice professional picture right up there as your icon. Again, like your icon is going to be in the feed anytime you comment. Here is your feed. This right down the center of your LinkedIn page. This is showing the feed. This is like your Facebook feed. And this is where people are posting. Now, this Julie, and when you see the little first after that in the post, that means she's in my first level of contacts. She is a main contact of mine. This is a client that's just doing a great job, and she's just posted a video. So I'm going to, show you how to comment and share that. Then this shows here promoted Chase Bank. This is promoted. Chase Bank is promoting their, it's an ad, right? Just like on the other social media platforms, it always sponsored or promoted. That means that this is an ad for Chase for business. Then we come down here is another individual. She's in my first contact. So you can just kind of go through, and this is FDI intelligence. This was shared by this gentleman who I follow. And then he shared this. So you can see Brian is in my network, and that's why it's popping up. It's something he shared. So that's what's going to happen when you share. If you share as a personal profile, professional profile, it's going to show your icon, but then you can also change it to your business if you have a business page, but we'll get into that in a minute. So this is your feed. So I just kind of want to show you that that's what kind of pops up when you're looking at your LinkedIn from the back end. Of course, here is the messaging. I have it minimized. These are all the folks that are either doing a sponsored ad in the messaging portion of LinkedIn, or these are some of my first people that I'm connected to. And so, here's my daughter. She sent me an update. She sent an update. So here is another one. So these are showing my messages. If it shows sponsored, that means that they're placing an ad in there. And I don't probably know them, right? So, okay, so let's go up to the top. We have home, we have network, and we're on home right now. So you always know you're on home when you see the feed. We have jobs, we have messaging, we have notifications, and then here is the little me. And that's where I want to go for the showing you how to go ahead and make some changes and make sure you've got a really robust profile. So you're just going to hit on view profile, and there pops up my profile or my, about me. So the first thing you want to, you can change your icon. I haven't put Charlie in there. I still have my big old face there. I just have wanted to use this for my professional LinkedIn. I haven't put my more casual pandemic profile in there. So that's okay. That's your choice. You can change it up if you want to. Sometimes we update. You just don't want to have your high school graduation picture or your college picture from, 20 years ago there, because it's not a dating site. It is a professional site. So the most current professional picture you have, so that folks, when they are searching and you for either hiring you or wanting to contract with you or wanting to network with you, that you've got a current picture. This back here is one area that in the headliner, the cover headliner, that a lot of folks forget about. So if you see just blue or something that's just generic, that means it hasn't been updated. And this is a powerful place to make sure you've got something uploaded on there. Now, I created this using Canva. That is a free design that has, some templates for LinkedIn headliners. And then I was able to add this little text. So it looks like, that's me on the computer, and that's my name and my business. So I kind of added that flair. That is what I chose for this time. You just change it by the pencil. Anything with the pencil means you can change it. You can change your photo right there. So you can drag and reposition it. You can stretch and you can zoom it in if you wanted to, zoom it out. And this you can change regularly. This again is like on Facebook, your cover page. This is LinkedIn's profile headliner. So again, if you work in different places, or you've got new products, or you're just, wanting to change whatever, you can change this. I recommend that you do sometimes, but you don't have to. I keep mine the same. My icon is always, my cover photo is always going to be me. And if I update it, would be because I got a more current profile picture. Then the next area is this section here. So I'm just going to go and click on the pencil to show you how to make these changes. Okay. So before I do that, this is my website, and then this is where I graduated from, with my BS. I got a BS. Yes, right? Bachelor of Science. And then this is, if you click on this, so if folks want to know more contact information about you, this is where they click to find out all of this information, right? This is what members or people that are in your network following you, or if your page is public, this is what they see. They'll see your profile URL, which I'll show you in a minute. The website, my Facebook page is there. Here's my phone number. Here's my Arizona address, my email, and my birthday. They don't give the year there. Yes, I know, right? So let's go ahead and go and show how to navigate part of this. Real simple. You could add a former name if you want to, if you just were recently married, or you added, you changed your name for some reason, you can add a former name here. You have up here is your headliner, and this is your 30-second elevator speech. So the headliner, let me just get out of there for a minute. I didn't make any changes, right? This is your headliner right here. This is what folks see immediately. Now down the page, there's more information to go deeper into your description. But this one, you want to take, and I forget how many exact characters there are. Maybe I have it in my notes here. Let me look real quick. You want to make sure this is powerful. It hits the point. 156 characters, so it's not a lot. So you want to make sure, let's see if I got that on the right page. It might be a little bit more. I don't seem to have that written down, but you'll find out it's not a lot. This is the max. So I really started to talk about some of the areas that I specialize in: downtown development specialist, economic revitalization practitioner, Main Street advocate, nonprofit executive, small business advisor for the SBDC network, and president of our own consulting firm since 2000. So I jammed a lot into that. So you kind of want to think about that. That's what is going to describe you, your professional description, your 30-second elevator speech. If someone says, "Oh, what do you do?" or "Who, what's your background?" or "What are you in, where are you working?" or "Oh, you're an entrepreneur. Tell me a little bit." So that's kind of what you want to think about when you add this headliner in here. Current position. You can add a new position if you wanted to. Of course, I'm president in LL Consulting. That's my show current company in my intro. Okay. Then I have education. Show it in my education, my region, my postcode and locations in this area. So I just put Phoenix. And then here's where you choose your industry, and you only get to choose one. Now you can change it, but there is a lot to choose from. So you just go down, you look through all of this. If you're doing computer and network security, you go there. So you pick what you most want to have describe what your industry is. And then here is where you add your contact information. You're up here is where your profile URL is. So that is linked up over here. This is where you customize it right here on this side. So I'm back on my public profile settings. Edit your custom URL. So just like Facebook, Instagram, all of the social media platforms have a place where you can customize YouTube, you can customize it, but you have to have 100 YouTube followers or YouTube subscribers. Now, the SBDCs, the Shasta-Cascade SBDC has been working hard on getting to those 100 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to the Shasta-Cascade YouTube channel, which has a lot of our past webinars sitting there, as well as our NorCal Minutes and other interesting videos, that we would encourage you to do that so we can get our URL. But up here, you want to get your professional profile. So you want to type your name in there. So you don't use any spaces, but you can use symbols or special characters. So of course, that's mine. So there's that. Okay, let's go back here. See if I can get back to where I was supposed to be. Yeah. So just going to navigate. So I'm back down here under contact information. And, just jump in, guys, once you watch me navigate all this, and then you get the recording back again, you kind of look, and maybe you've been here, maybe you haven't been there for a while and need updating. So anytime there's a pencil, that means it's a editing section of your professional profile. So just jump in there and start looking around. So that's my URL. This is my Facebook page. And you can choose personal, company, blog, profile, or other. Same with this one, it gives you that option. In other, you type your phone number, it's mobile, my address, and then of course here, if add instant messenger if I wanted to. I don't, I just have my email. So then we're just going to put apply there. So, and then we're going to just save all of this. So that kind of is this area right here, right? So let's look at more. Okay, so we're not going to go there. So I'm not open to finding a new job or hiring, so that you would click on there, add section. Okay, so we're just going to go down this. So here is now I'm going to be sliding down my profile. This blue stuff is only I can see it, my activity. Now we're at the about. Now this is where you can add 20,000 characters, I believe. It's pretty robust. So this is a summary. So you just gonna, I thought I could open that up, but here we go. So you can add, I think, up to 20,000 characters. This is where you can get more elaborate about yourself, okay? Now I made mine a little bit more casual. It's not my resume. It's more of bits and pieces about me. Remember, you're on your personal profile. So it's about you, your experience. I've seen some folks that they've really made it much more fun, like, they talk maybe about their personal life, their adventures, but this is more about you, so that if anybody was on here, they would know more about your professional experience and background. So you can expand on that. Here you can add some features, showcase your work by your best posts, documents, media, or your website. So if you want to show content you posted to LinkedIn, if you wrote an article, you can write articles on LinkedIn and post it as your article, which is fabulous. Kind of like a blog, only it's called an article. Links that you may want to show to web content, and then, again, any documents or presentations. You can actually load up PowerPoints on LinkedIn. So if you're doing a PowerPoint about your company, or about, you're sharing it as a manager of a company and you're putting a PowerPoint together and you don't mind sharing it publicly, you can upload it to your personal profile. So now let's see. I'm just going to show you that I featured this, this post, and that's what this is about. It's saying that this is an announcement of a fabulous initiative in Arizona to help rural businesses. It's part of the recovery of that this organization is doing. And so I went ahead and featured that. Let's go back here. Let's get back. Sorry, guys. So this is activity that I shared. And then here is the all-encompassing resume, also known as experience, right? So you really want to take time to really build this out. I've seen folks, let's see how far down. I didn't go past a 1990 just because I worked in banking for years, and you start to really show, oh, back in the dark ages when she was working in banking. So I just kind of kept it relative to my field now. I could add the banking and stuff information, but there was enough here. And then of course, my full resume also sits on my website. But this is where you add your experience. So that I have been with LL Consulting 20 years, 8 months. And of course, you just start typing here. Here's LL Consulting. I have offices in Arizona and California when I started here. I don't want to end this position. This is my most current position, right? So you can just start to type in here, add media. So this is a place where you really want to take some time and really build up your experience. And then this is iconed here because this business is no longer in business. He closed Burns Consulting. And so I don't have a logo for it. So it's just LinkedIn is just putting it's just, there's no connection. He's not on LinkedIn. Burns Consulting is no longer on LinkedIn. So there isn't an icon to go there. So I cannot put an icon in there. So this is what they've just put as a placeholder. Again, my start date, my end date, description, what up I did. I could add any documents, photos, videos, or presentations. Maybe you might want to do something if you received an award or something in the past. And then of course, and then my education. Again, I'm just, it has California State University there. Bachelor of Science, when my start date, when I graduated. I didn't put my Kuma Summa Latte and all of my activities or a description, not needed. It's been, it's a few years. I'm not a newly graduate, so I'm not going to add much more than that. And then these are endorsements. These are people that endorse you. Some of your followers, your first and second, maybe folks that are in your network. And so they have endorsed it. Now you add the skills. So you get to choose what skills you can add. I can add 16 more skills. So it gives you a number of skills. So I put leadership, development, board relations. So you just start to say, okay, marketing, social media marketing. So I might want to add that. Let's say, so do I have business advising in there? So I could put new business development, and then I add those in there. It's going to refresh it. And then those are my skills way down here that they're going to show all of them, right? Other skills. And then the number of those are ones that have been endorsed. So it's really great. And you can send out an email, or you can post on your news feed that you, or send out, through your network messaging that you just added some new skills. People will, if they're in your network, it will come into their notifications that you've added new skills. And that tells your followers, the folks that are following you, or your connections. I have 157 connections that I have added a new skill, and they'll come in, and if they're, a good colleague and they believe in you and they're active on LinkedIn, they're going to endorse it. So let's show less on that. Okay, now we're down into the recommendations. You have to ask for the recommendation. So you think about, and I do this, probably every 6 months. Now, a lot of folks are really lazy and they won't, they don't give you a recommendation. They won't answer back to your request. Some want you to write it for them. So, again, think about that higher level professional that you've worked with in the past, or has been a colleague of yours, is in your industry, is you're still connected with, you're still kind of networking with, and you can ask them for a recommendation. You want to build your recommendations. Just like it's a little different than a review, right? We're not reviewing a business or reviewing yourself, we're recommending. And this is where you can use this for content on other social media. You can put this on your website. You can add this to your business profile as content. So you want to ask for the recommendation. So who do you want to ask? Let me see. I'm just going to ask my daughter. Okay. Select. And then it gives you an option of how you had a relationship with this person. Was senior to you. You worked with Mara in the same group. Mara worked with you, but in different groups. And I'm just going to tell you, Mara's worked for me in the past. So she's okay. You're a client. Mara was a client of yours. Mara taught you. She mentored you. You were students together. So you can kind of choose. I'm just going to put that she reported directly to me. Position at the time, I'm just going to say president, and then next. And then you can write in here, you can write what you would like to say. So they give you just like, the disclaimer one, and you can just say, hi, Mara. I am updating or expanding or whatever you want to say my recommendations on my LinkedIn profile, and would you write me a recommendation about your experience of working with me on the Arizona Preservation Foundation project. Okay, and then I'm going to send it to her. She's going to probably go, Mom, what are you doing? But that's an example. So you send it out there, then they'll write it, or they'll message you, or they'll call you, or they'll email you, however they're going to connect with you. Oh, I don't know what to say. Like this person, Rosalind Boxer, she's the president of her own firm, but she was the vice president of Arizona Commerce Authority, very high level. And I was on contract with her for about 10 years, but she didn't know what to say. So I kind of gave her some ideas, and then she, wrote it. And then once they write it and send it back, you have the choice of accepting it or not. Okay. So if they didn't write, one that you thought was like, oh, you can send them a private message and say, hey, could you edit this a little bit? And maybe say this, or stress this area that I worked with you, or, however. Now, they also show you the ones that you gave. So I had Nina, and, I just showed you that she was in my first connection. And this was what I had wrote for her. And it tells me down here that I, worked with her as a client of hers back in 2010. Now, it shows you that I have 2 recommendations requests pending. So I'm going to click on this. Okay, I haven't wrote that one, and Leanne, I haven't wrote that one. So this is a colleague of mine that I did some work with in Vermont, plus we worked together here in Arizona. And then this was a musician that I hired for one of my clients that was doing events. So they want me to write recommendations. So when you go to write it, It's just right here. You have to write it, right? So you've got to think. It's just like a letter of support, letter of recommendation, same thing right here. Okay, so I'm not going to do that right now because I want to give it some thought. Oh, that's Michael's. Let's get out of Michael's. We don't want to go to Michael's. We want to on mine, right? Okay, let's get out of there. So there's that area. Now, accomplishments. This is where you can add some accomplishments. Publication, patent, course, project, organization. So I put here an organization, and the accomplishment is that I am working with them. And I can change it, like if I wanted to put it as a project. So, here you fill this out as the project. The organization. It's loading up. This is the organization name, gives the title. I just haven't filled that out yet. So that is, I don't know why I can't click on it, but that's all right. Oh, maybe it goes down here. There we go. Okay, so once you fill that out, it's going to show this. It's going to show that from January 2007 to present, I've been the executive director for that organization. Then interest. These are your groups. So here, let's go into all. So these are companies that I'm following. These are groups that I belong to. So when folks come on your site, they can go into this area and say, oh, Lani, I know she's been doing downtown work for 20 years. She must have, and they can say, oh, she's in this group of downtown revitalization. Huh, wonder what that's about. So you go on there, and this again now is an area that you belong to as an individual because you're involved in that industry. And this is where you may learn new things, stay abreast of what's going on in the industry, all kinds of things that are going on and that you might want to share with your profile. So, oh, now see Donna West, she's in my third tier. She is a colleague from way back. She's talking about the early history in Santa Clara. And she is talking there. So I can comment myself or I can like it, right? Again, so you just kind of a new area as a group to mine some content that may help it, keep you abreast of what's going on, reconnect with folks that you haven't seen for a while. This is they're looking for a job here. She's a speaker. So again, just kind of an area that in a group you get to share, you get to learn, you get to comment. So she's a trainer, writer, current tourism currents. So I may want to connect with her because it might be of interest to me to have her in my network. Okay, and then schools, and I have one school. I don't have my community college or my high school there, and I don't need to. So these are companies that I'm following my own company. And these are groups that I've asked to belong to or are part of. And they sit down here in your interest. Whew. So that's your personal profile. That is what people see, and that is what you want to build upon because that gives you more depth, experience, tells what your interests are, all of that.
Lani?
Yes.
I have a question in the chat. Is there a HubSpot plugin for LinkedIn?
I don't know what that means.
Jeff, do you want to turn your microphone on and ask him personally?
Like a place where everybody goes on LinkedIn?
HubSpot's an online tool.
Oh, I am not aware of that. Great question. I can look it up and find out and get back to him at a later time.
Okay.
Okay. Please.
Yeah, that was my question. So CRM is what HubSpot is, and I just didn't know if there was a LinkedIn plugin that would work with that or not. So
Okay, good question. If you find, I will find out for you and I'll get back to you, okay?
appreciate it. Thank you.
You betcha. Okay, so let's go to our, here's my network, right? Let's go back to my profile so I can show you I'm moving on, okay? Let's go to the settings and privacy first. And again, these are areas that you want to just kind of look at, and just like all of the other social media platforms, this is the area where you want to, your sign in, your visibility. You want, if you're, looking at your security and your privacy, you can change it all right here, right? Communications, get your communications, email, primary email. So it's just, these are just areas that you can just go deep into to find out, to protect your privacy or make sure that it's open publicly, or however you want to manage your profile. Here's the job seeking preferences, then other applications. Okay, and I don't usually take too much time on the account preferences, just because it's, it is a lot. And once I start going down here, I usually lose interest, but this is really for you just to kind of go in there. And then I would always say, you can make an appointment to talk to business advisors if you're in Shasta-Cascade or Shasta and Trinity County, you can meet with one of our advisors, including me. Or if you're in another county or state, even, you just need to, we'll give you the link at the end, but you can just Google Small Business Development Center in my county, and they'll pop right up, and you can contact them to see if they have a consultant on staff that can help you with your marketing, your digital marketing. And most of them do these days, because digital marketing has really become, let's get back to LinkedIn here, has really become the way we're communicating from the pandemic. Thank goodness we're slowly coming out of it, and we're going to be seeing more events, more in-person events, networking opportunities come up. But right for now, it's still, a lot. Okay, this is my activity. I am not a huge activity on LinkedIn right now. I'm just going to tell you, I'm sorry. Again, it's like, where does my time go? So this just shows you my little elevator speech. I have 158 followers. This is showing all activity. This is showing my activity if you wanted to write an article, my post, or documents that you've maybe shared or uploaded. So you can actually, and it's one of the social media platforms, LinkedIn lets you upload PDFs. Hallelujah, right? You don't have to take a picture of it and then let people try to read it. So this was one that I did back 10 months ago, back in the beginning of the pandemic, when we were doing some heavy lobbying for community recovery and revitalization. And this was a 5-page document that was put together by the National Main Street Center that I wanted to share, because I have a lot of folks and networks that are people that are involved in downtown revitalization. So this is the document. And then it's about the CARES Act. It was actually very informational. So this was here, and I shared that. So that's showing a document. I wrote a little bit about it, of course, explaining. Always, just like best practices for all of your social media platforms, when you share something, whether it's a document, whether it's a post from another connection or another business, you always want to write something about it. You want to kind of personalize it, right? So, this is where I wrote about it. Here's the PDF to share with your leadership for the value of Main Streets provide to the community region. So that is what I had 157 views in this post and probably no shares. I don't know. So anyways, that's the documents, the post. Here are my posts. Again, telling them my business is on LinkedIn. Here, this was a colleague that I knew she would appreciate this. She's involved in affordable homes, so I shared that. And of course, I tagged her, right? So I tagged her with this, sending it so that then when she would get it in her notification that and I also, this is their hashtag. So over here, as you can see on this page of post and activity, that's where I'm at. I'm down in the management part. That also over here is they're showing all of my companies that I follow, the schools that I'm following, and then the groups that I'm in. So it's another place for you to kind of see, folks to see, again, except not having to go all the end of my profile, which most folks don't even want to go that far. They want to just see any articles or activity that I have posted over the last few years, few months. And it'll also show all my interests. So these are my interests, my activity, me.
Lonnie,
Yes.
there's a question for where is it that you enter your email so that your email is associated with your account?
Good question. I'll go back up here. Oh, there's my sidekick. Postman must be here. Okay, you're going to go under view profile. Then you want to go up here at the top with the pencil. Down here, contact information. And then you enter it. Oh, wrong place, sorry. Okay, let me think. Oh, right here. Contact information. Okay, let me show you again. Okay, we're going over to the me. We're going on view profile. Charlie. Ah, sweet dog. And then right here where it says contact information, it's highlighted in blue. Then right here, so you're just going to hit this pencil. There's that, add website. There it is, right here. Okay, it's going to add it right there. Add email address, you've added. So it's just settings to, making sure that that's where I want to add. So it's going to take you over there and you're going to add your primary. You can add another email address. Let's say you have, 2 emails address. You work for 2 different businesses. You can add another one there. This is where you can change your phone number, your password. So that is where you add it. So it's right down here, okay? Hopefully that helps them. Oops. I don't want to make any changes. And then this is what everybody sees, right? This is what your customers or your professional networks are going to see right here. Okay. Good to go, Linda?
Yes, thanks, Lonnie.
Okay. Apologize for my dog, everybody. Okay. So let's go to my network. These are your folks, right? These are your connections. These are folks that I have no pending invitations. Nobody wants me to join them, probably because I haven't been really active. Online events for you. These are probably online events that are being sponsored. They are coming up, so you can just get rid of them. If there's an online event that you see that you might want to join, these are probably not the free ones. Or now people from California State University. Okay, so now these are folks these are recommendations. These are folks that LinkedIn is down from your profile and said, these folks also are from California State University. Now I know Helen. I also work with her for this organization. So I have not reached out to her, but this is interesting. It's like, oh, I didn't know Helen was from Sac State. I should have known that. We worked together for for 3 years on a project together, but we really never talked about our education. So, oh gosh, I think this would be appropriate to connect with her. So then I'm going to hit that, and it's going to send out a connection for her. Again, these are all folks that are from Sac State. So let's see, Les. So you can just go down here. It's just giving you, these are people in the nonprofit industry, may know. I know Janet. She's from Nevada County, California. I've worked with her. I've seen her on a couple of webinars. So this is based on my profile, right? So I'm going to go ahead and send that out to her. Oh, Brad, I know, I graduated high school with him. So obviously this is a good place for the low-hanging fruit, right? And you just need to take some time. Now, the best practice is just not to go and just build your connections. Some people think that, well, the more followers or connections I have, the more that my profile is going to be seen and my business is going to get bigger. Well, not necessarily. You kind of want to be selective of your connections, right? You want to kind of have a relationship with them. You just don't want to be one that's just sending out all the time, wanting people to connect with you. So I always kind of recommend that you maybe look at this, because they are pulling this down from areas of your interest. And chances are, LinkedIn for nonprofits. That's interesting. This is nonprofit management in industry. Also follow these pages. So this might be a page that I want to follow. So you can just take I would maybe say do this once a week, clean it up, get rid of it. LinkedIn is pretty powerful, and they're going to be also pushing out all kinds of information for you based on your profile. So you're going to want to kind of, maybe keep it cleaned up and not get as ruly as this is. This is a newsletter that you could subscribe to. Again, just going down. So that's just an area that kind of helps you kind of maybe vet some of the events, connections, pages, groups that are related to what you have built out on your profile, through your resume, through your other interesting groups, through your skills, through your areas of expertise. And so you kind of want to think about that as you're building out your robust, that this is also feeding into LinkedIn's algorithm that's going to pop up and populate, help you kind of stay abreast of what's going on in your industry, your skills, your areas of expertise. So I have this many connections, and here are all my connections. Yes. So I, can go through here. I can message them directly, like, oh gosh, Tara, how you doing? And, I can message her directly, and it'll be just, I've already have a few messages. So if I just wanted to say, hey, how's Mariposa County doing? Are you opened up? How are you back on doing events in your county? So she is from I have to kind of, if I'm going to messenger her personally, I want to kind of think about what I want to say to her. And again, because I'm on a professional profile, LinkedIn, we want to kind of keep it job related, right? Maybe she'd be a great candidate for me to maybe ask her, would she be willing to do a recommendation for me before I just send out the recommendation? Or just say, gosh, I just saw your post. I'm so excited for, Made in Mariposa. You're getting a lot of hits on your Facebook page. Congratulations. So, those kind of things. You can search your profile, your connections by their name, my contacts, my groups I'm in, the events that I made, the pages I'm following. It puts it all right there. Oh, look there's the SBDC Center. So I'm following them, right? And so if I click on there, it's going to take me to their business, their page, their business page. And this is what I'm seeing. So I'm following, visit their website. That's the call to action. And that's what we're going to have on our business page. And then more. And if I hit more, sharing a message. Oh, I'm not going to report abuse. So this is just taking me to their business page, right? So let's go back because we're still on our personal profile. Newsletters, hashtags. No hashtags, haven't done any hashtags on my personal profile, hashtagged anything. Okay, so then let's go back to home. And I kind of wanted to show you the search feature before I switch over here on the left-hand side to my business page to help you navigate about how to build out for your business. Now I'm going to tell you, I use my personal profile and I am not really using my business page to drive attention. I use my Facebook business page for most of that. Just because I want to build my professional profile, because I'm a professional consultant that works with lots of different clients, I haven't really focused a lot on my business. So I'm just gonna, you make that choice, and you can do both. I have some businesses, some business owners that just use their professional profile and don't have for their business, because it's just not, they just can't manage another site. And then I have some that do both really, really robustly. So up here, if I start a post, this is where I'd add a photo, a video, an event, or write an article, right? So this would be where I would start an organic post. If I wanted to just, and I wanted to come here, come down and see in my feed, see already lots of things have happened in the feed. It's going to show you how to share, but that's okay. So here is where you can like it, comment, you can share it, and you can share it because I have a business page with LinkedIn and a professional profile, just like what Facebook pages and personal profiles allow you, and Instagram. You can share it as, I can share it as my business, or I can share it as Lani Lott. So let's just save it, and I'm going to share it as exciting So this is Ray. He's a reporter. He's in my second tier, which means he is a connection to somebody in my first tier, and it's popping up in my feed that this building has sold. Because I do historic preservation work, I'm going to add a hashtag. Yeah, let's just do preservation. We could do preservation month, and we could do yeah, I like that better because I don't think it's preservation month. Oh yeah, it is May. And then we could do a hashtag for, it can be open to anybody. Anyone can comment on my share. Go back, I don't want to lose it. And then I just post it. So they had one share, and of course the share is going to their profile page, right? And it's going to be from LL Consulting. So he may link on LL Consulting and say, who in the heck is this person? So anyways, up here on your home, we want to search. So people say, okay, so how do I find groups and people and jobs up in your search? So you want to start with, let's say, small business, okay? I just type small business in here. And then you can search for small business development, manager, owner. I'm just going to put small business. Underneath that, here's people, here's jobs, And up here are the areas, right? So if you're not searching for a job in small business, but you're looking for maybe a post or a course, you can jump right onto this button. And it's going to show you the 14,000 results for groups that have small business in it, right? Here's Arizona small business owners. Then this just gives you a little explanation of what that entails, right? So I can just click on that and it goes right to that group. Now this is a group. It's Arizona small business owners. And then, you know, here is the group. It talks about the group over here. See all, if you want to know more about the group, you can see, okay, this is a group, more active, locally supported group in LinkedIn for over 10 years. Join us and be connected over 8,000 members. So you then can say, okay, does this make sense for me to be part of this group? If not, then you just don't do it. So let's go back again. So I put in small business. I'm in the filter groups. You can see all the filters. You can filter by, let's say, companies. And then if you want to filter by companies, you can do just United States company, industry, company size, job listings, and connections. So it does give you, let's go back here. So again, I can just show you. Okay, so up here are these. They are also listed down. So if you don't want to, if you want to look through all of them, you can just go through it and look at the top 3 in the companies and small business, the post, what they were saying about small. And of course, it's pulling out small and business. So a lot of it, you may be too broad. Here's our groups, more people. People also search for this, right? So this is how you kind of start to search and look for areas and grow your personal networking with these interests. Let's say you're a chef and you want to do so chef and job, chef and people. So restaurant management. So here it's kind of see all results. So we just start to say, okay, what's restaurant management in groups? This is just giving me the groups, right? So here you got to kind of give it some thought about what am I really looking for in terms of groups? And you get kind of defined, and then it'll help you, you know, kind of look at some of the areas. So if we just go into restaurant management, it's going to give me people up here. Now it's pulling down from, because I'm located in Phoenix, it's doing a location for me. So this is in Flagstaff. This is in Greater Phoenix area. Of course, if you're located in San Diego or you're located in Redding, it's going to pull down Redding. So I can do maybe management in Redding. See if there's anything. Okay, Red Bluff area. So again, these are some recruiting companies. These are some jobs. This is in Red Bluff, assistant manager. This is again, some hotel jobs. Oop, there goes my dog again. So this is where you search, okay? And you just, you know, take time again. I'm going to take a moment just to
Lani, while you're pausing for just a moment, I just want to announce to people, I know we have some people that are in the Redding area watching, and I wanted to let them know that on Saturday, this is Redding, California, there's an Acton Children's Business Fair from 9 a.m. till 1 p.m. Saturday, and that's at the lawn at the Reading Civic Center. And we have kids from the age of 4 to 16 that are going to be talking about their businesses, selling some products that they've made, and it's a kids business fair. So in case you have some children or yourself, you'd like to show up and participate and buy some products from these kids, I wanted to make sure you knew about it.
Great. Thank you, Linda. My dog is done welcoming the postman. So down here in the very corner here, you kind of see my post was successful, right? Remember that post I made? So I can go view it. So I'm going to hit view and I'm going to like, okay, there it is. And okay, that looked pretty good, because if it didn't, I can copy the link to post. I can delete the post. I can save it for later. So you have some options if it's like, oh, I didn't want to really do that. Or like if I misspelled something, which sometimes that happens, right? Because we're all human. Now it's showing, if you look at this post, it's showing my business, right? Remember, I posted as my business, not my personal. So I'm going to go back because I want to show you, I'm going to go back to my business, my profile, my personal profile up here, view profile. Okay, so I'm there, going to go to my home. Okay, now, how do I find my business page? Well, good old LinkedIn makes it really simple. It's on the left-hand column. Remember, you're seeing it as you, the owner of the page, your profile. I'm on my profile. So, oh, here's LL Consulting. Let's go check that out. Let's go see how it's doing. Let's go, go maybe update it. This is my business. Okay. So here we are. Now I'm in super administrative view. That means I'm seeing this from the back end. If you want to see it how a member is going to see it, you would click on here. It is still easy to do that. Unlike some of the other social media platforms that make you search around to say, okay, how is my business page really looking to the, the individual that may be seeing it? LinkedIn has it right here up front. So if I just click on view as a member, this is how you see it. Okay. Really cleaned up. You don't see all the craziness. So it says here, you're viewing this page as a member. Okay, I don't want to do that. I want to go back to administration because I want to make some changes to it. So over here under administrative tools, we'll go in there in a minute. I'm going to show you how to edit. Again, here's my icon, right? There I have my logo. Again, like your profile, this should be representative of your business. This little thing should not ever change unless you do a rebranding, unless you move and open up, a new location. Yeah, and you want to store, like the SBDC just changed their location. We're downtown Reading now instead of out near the airport. So they may want to change the icon. They're probably using their logo, but this cover page, because you have the option to also have your cover page or your headliner. Again, just like we had in the personal profile, you can upload and change your cover picture. This is me being silly back at a 4th of July celebration. I was working downtown. I helped with the 4th of July. I just love this. It's showing me celebrating. Of course, it was pre-pandemic. We're not sure what the 4th of July will look like this year. So that is why I selected that. Okay, let's edit this page. So we have right here the header, page info. There's my logo. You can change it. There's my name, my public URL for my LinkedIn company name. So that's where you want to put that. You don't want to have a bunch of numbers there. You want to have it so it's as close to your business as possible. And then my tagline. The tagline is what shows up beneath LL Consulting that people see, right? They actually call it a tagline because we're on our business page. So I just put since 2000, specializing in downtown development and economic revitalization across the Southwest, a 99 out of 120 characters. They do not give you a lot of room to put your tagline, which it should not be. So your tagline could be your slogan that you use in your marketing, that you have used for years and years, or it can be something brand new. Buttons. So this is the button that you can customize. It's on. I want to have a button on my page, and I want people to visit my website, because that is where all of the information about everything that LL Consulting does, my projects, my list of clients, because I really use my website as my landing page for all of the information that I can communicate and promote, because I own my website, right? I own that real estate, as someone says. The LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, you're renting it. But I want everybody to go to my website, because that's where I can go much deeper. You can have them sign up if you have an e-newsletter, you register for an event, or learn more, or contact us. So this is the buttons, and it shows it right here, right? So if I click on that, it's going to visit my website. So there's kind of giving you a snapshot of what this is looking like. My about. Okay, so here is where we go up here, and I can do a little deeper dive into my description. We have 2,000 characters. Again, not a lot of room, but more than my tagline, right? So I had to pull that down. Again, this is about my business, my company, not about me. And sometimes it's so closely related that we get confused. So if you can separate about your business from your personal profile, this is where you want to do it. Here's my URL. If you don't have a website, that's all dandy. You just click that little box. Again, you have one area of focus. So right now it's nonprofit organizational management. I have 2 employees, 0 to 1 or 2 to, and make sure you always count yourself. And if you're in business with your partner, always count them as the second one. I'm a sole proprietor, but you can change that. It gives you, all of these different areas, my phone number, when I was founded, and then specialties. So downtown, economic, tourism, business coaching, branding. So let's add one. So let's see, what else can I do? Event planning. So I added that specialty. Okay, so you're going to have 20 of those. So that's good. I'm going to save it. Locations. Now my company has 2 offices. So I have my Phoenix office as my primary, and then my California office is my secondary. Okay. If you don't have a street address, you can exclude it. So if I didn't want to put my street address here, okay, let's just click that box. Let's save it and let's see what pops up then. Okay, again, I do want to include the one in, let's just do them both that there's not a street address, okay? Then especially like for my Phoenix folks, blessed be, I'm a home-based business, have been for 25 years. So being sheltered in place wasn't such a huge ordeal for me. However, I have clients that come to my home office, but for this, let's just, because it's out in the public realm, let's just keep it with no address. So you can do that. Your hashtags, you can add 3 hashtags, topics that matter to your page. So you can have up to 3, right? I put downtown revitalization, consulting firm, and SBDC. Those are the 3 that I chose. And then I can add featured groups that I want to feature. So those are the featured groups. You can trash any, you can add more, and then you can manage languages. You can add a language. I am just in English by default, and I only do English. I only speak English at this point, and my business is only in the United States. So,
Lani,
yes.
we have 10 minutes left and I have a couple questions. So let me know when you'd like to jump
Okay.
to the questions.
Sure. So then you just go down and that's your page right there. And then your feed is right down here. This is your feed. So if I go back to home, I'm going to be on my personal, right? So on my business, here's where you can add content, employee milestones, analytics. This shows you how we're doing, and then activity, updates, events. Haven't had any of those, so you're not going to see any of that. So this would be where you would write your post as your company. You have video, document. You can add a document, a Dropbox, a OneDrive, a Google Drive. You can also do it for PDF. You can do a poll. So again, this is where you create your content for your business. Okay, and then under here, under invite connections, sponsor an update, post a free job, create an event. If you're holding an event, just like on Facebook, you can create an event. If you're doing a webinar, if you're doing, you're going to have open office hours, if you're going to do any kind of event that, so if you're, let me get rid of that. So if you're a nonprofit, let's say you're the Reading Chamber and you're going to have a Reading open house, you would then, or a networking opportunity as the Reading Chamber, you would probably want to do an event there. And then create a showcase page. And a showcase page is like a division of your business. So like Nike has like 20 different showcase pages because they got Nike attire, Nike shoes, Nike foundation. So they're doing some showcase pages that are all connected to Nike, the brand, but they're really diving deeper into the specific topic. Okay, Linda, shoot me the questions.
All right. First one is, can you talk about how the LinkedIn virility algorithm works differently for personal pages and business pages?
Oh, no. Well, personal is going to be about you and everything that you're doing in terms of who you're following, what groups, and your business algorithm is going to be more about your company. And if you're not posting anything, like I'm not posting much on LL Consulting, my algorithm is not going to, LL Consulting is not going to come up in people's feed because I'm connected with, unless I share it with grow my connections. It's just like Facebook. The more you share, the more shares you get, the more likes you get, the more comments you get, you move up the algorithm. So think about it again, that personal profile is about you and your connections and how you're posting out there, what you're following, who you're following, what groups you're following. That's how they're deciding on your personal profile. Same goes for your business. So that is a really great question. It's probably much deeper I'm not an algorithm person. I don't get behind that. I'm more on this 101. That would be a question for 201 to dive deeper in how they're really, what's going on behind the curtain.
And this next question, Lani, is a little long, so let me get all the way through it. What is the difference between following a business and connecting with a business? I have seen both options on business pages. The SBDC had a connect button, but another business had a follow button.
Okay, well, the follow button is probably more on your so connections is you're connecting with your profile, right? Your business profile. Your personal profile. In terms of following, if you follow, that means it's going to drop into your news feed. So people that follow you, when you post something, it's going to go into their newsfeed. If you're just connecting with them and they're not following you, it doesn't mean that every time you post something, it's going to drop into their newsfeed. That makes sense? Okay.
Great. And we had a comment here from someone that had to leave the call early. that said how much they appreciate your expertise, Lani.
My 101 expertise. Yes, thank you. I just know that when I started out really jumping into social media, and the thing about social media is that it's free, right? It doesn't cost much unless you're paying for the premium, and in terms or you're boosting or you're advertising, which there are all those options. But I'm going to get out of my LinkedIn and go back to the PowerPoint presentation, that it takes a lot of time, the learning curve. And really, unless, it's not hard to do, but it takes time. And if you have somebody that can just show you how to navigate some of those things, then it'll help with the learning curve and where to go, and just some of, and the other thing that drives me crazy and about social media is that they just, when you get it down and you know where everything is and you're seeing all the new things that they always are pushing out and the learning tools, is that they change it, right? Now, LinkedIn hasn't really changed their format too much, but Facebook page went through a major change, and it was kind of disturbing because we had to relearn it all. So here is, again, building and engaging your business network. So share your business page, invite your connections. So just like Facebook, you can invite your people on your personal LinkedIn profile that are part of your network. You can send out an automatic email to them, inviting them to like or to follow your business page. So you want to do that. You want to add the LinkedIn buttons to your other all of your other marketing touch points. So the LinkedIn button goes on your website. The LinkedIn button goes on your Google My Business page. It goes on in your emails. It goes in your signature block. You see the little Facebook icon where you want to have the LinkedIn too, and make sure it links back to your business page or your business or your personal profile. You want to make sure that those links work. Leveraging the feed consistently, of course, consistency in posting, sharing, and comment. Again, the more that you post and share content on your business page, LinkedIn, you should probably try to post at least twice a week if you're going to grow your business profile on LinkedIn, your business page. Again, just like any other social media platforms, you need to push out content. That's why you belong to groups and follow people and mine the Facebook feed, the LinkedIn news feed. And there we go, Linda. Do you want me to talk about this, or do you want to bring it home and
I'll start, Lani, and I'll let you wrap up. But I'll give you a chance to get a sip of water.
I need it, right?
There's important contact information for you here. Emily, you'll see Emily at norcalsbdc.org. That is who you reach out to if you would like to learn more about participating in the Shasta-Cascade SBDC and learning more about what services we offer to you. You can see our website there, shastasbdc.org. By going there, you can also look at the calendar on that page and find out what future webinars we have. I shared in the chat the link to our survey. We love to hear what you think of these webinars, whether you liked it, you didn't like it. We want your feedback because we get better every time we run one of these because we're listening to what you're saying and what you're asking for. If there's a webinar you'd like us to create, we'd love to know that. And if you're not in Shasta or Trinity County, notice in the middle of this slide, you can go to America's SBDC.org/find-your-SBDC. And if you're in the US, there's going to be an SBDC that supports your county. We have a number of different links here. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have LinkedIn, and notice how friendly those are for the first three. And the one for YouTube kind of looks like alphabet soup on the end. And the reason for that is for us to be able to use our Shasta SBDC name we have to have at least 100 followers. So we would love it. We only need 15 more. We would love it if you would go like our page on YouTube and give us the chance to rename it something a little bit friendlier. Lani, can you talk about what people would need to do in order to get an appointment with an advisor and what that would look like? We have about 30 seconds.
Sure. And when I was talking about your username on LinkedIn, this is what we were talking about. This is where I was saying that the YouTube subscribers need 100. You need to have your own channel URL or username. You have to have 100 subscribers. Yes, if you're in Trinity County or Shasta County, you can just email Emily directly, and she will take you through the process of your interest and need and what area you are looking to for maybe a one-on-one advising appointment with, and then she will do the intake and align you with the right advisor. Right now, we're doing a lot of our advising virtually through Zoom or through the phone if you don't have strong internet connection, and some of us up in the woods don't. So Emily takes some information and she sets you up with the advisor. We reach out to you, we coordinate with our schedule and your schedule, and then we just have our first session and we talk about the specific areas of your need for your business, and we provide advising. And then it is at no cost to you. And as long as we're moving forward in your business and you're meeting some of your benchmarks, your goals, and we're seeing some economic impact, some growth in your business, that relationship can last as long as you need it to. And then we can also refer you to other advisors in a specific area, like if you need assistance with QuickBooks, or you're maybe looking at purchasing a building and you're needing some help with, looking at your loan package, or you need assistance with SEO, your search engine optimization. So that's how we kind of work. And if you're not in the Shasta County or Trinity County area, that's where you would go to that america.sbdc.org and find your SBDC and contact them. The process is pretty much the same. So I really want to thank you all for attending today. And I hope that I gave you a little bit of information about LinkedIn that helps you kind of look at your profiles to really build them out so they become one of your marketing tools. I will look up that HubSpot plugin for Jeff, and I'll probably maybe I'll just post it out there on my profile or on my LL Consulting, and then all of you will have that plugin. But again, thank you, Linda, for hosting this today and helping navigate the questions. And everybody have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And we will share with you a link to this recording in about 3 days. You'll get an email from Emily. We're so glad you joined us, and we'll see you at another webinar. Thank you.